Well, good afternoon. This is Jonathan Sanchez here in Mexico. We're going to do the last couple of videos here before we start revolutionizing the situation. We knew everything with Claudia Shitbum, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, and the factors with Mexico that's been going on with the issues. I want to thank Switzerland, Ireland, Finland, Greenland, Iceland, and everything that's been done with the European nations. We knew that EU had a lot of the implementations that were taken by Claudia Shitbum and Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. We knew the perversions and the actions that were taken by this terroristical factor, which the Fidel Castro created a lot of the implementations by their countermeasure. We knew the implementation that this Fidel Castro created a lot of the, how can we say this terrorism here in Mexico. And obviously, because we knew situations that we're going to be suing Mexico, or should I say, I'm going to be suing Mexico for everything they have. We knew the implementations that were created because we knew the implementations that were taken by Claudia Shitbum. And obviously, because we knew this implementations that were taken by the United Nations, not only because we knew those circumstances that alienated a lot of the implementations here in Mexico, and obviously because it's going to be my last couple of weeks here, because we knew that circumstances that were terroristical are completely unacceptable, not only deceiving the entire premise around the world, but because we knew a situation that were deceiving the entire nations in the implementations with El Chapo Guzman. This is why we knew a situation where Del Mencho and the situations that were done by these issues that are orchestrated by Claudia Shitbum. This is why I don't have, or should I say, um, they don't have my respect. We knew the implementation of respectability due to the implementations that were conducted. If they fail to comply and obviously respect situations that were conducted by Mexicans, and uh, obviously they lost my respect in a situation that we seen that Mexican conducted a lot of the issues that were structured by Claudia Shitbomb. So we knew the implementation that they're not, uh, how can we say, an authority figure. They're not in situations that are an implementations of superpowers, and because we knew situations that were conducted, because we knew the implementations that were taken directly, because Claudia Sheinbaum and Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, and issues that were taken by Mexicans. So yes, we are going to be seeing a lot of the implementations because the circumstances by Claudia Sheinbaum and Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, in which, like I said, I want to take Switzerland, Ireland, Greenland, Finland, Iceland, and obviously everything that was done with Norway, because we knew the implementations that were taken by this perverse individual. Not only because we knew the nudity and the implementations that were taken, but we're talking about implementations that were created here on my birthday on 4th of July. And obviously, the March of Lies have conducted a lot of the circumstances internationally because we were talking about implementations that were taken because we knew those issues that were constructed by Claudia Shedhead, and because we knew the situation of respectability was non-existent, and obviously because authorizing terrorism into an implementation of presidential elections that were fraudulent to begin with, altering, or should I say, wanting to alter uh, federal documents and situations that we knew that came directly from Claudia Shedhead. Um, this is why the matter of respect is non-existent, and because we knew the implementations that were created, because we knew those issues that were done by um, their administrations. So yes, we are going to see an implementations where their Claudia Shedhead is going to be prosecuted not only for pornography and terrorism, but because she is or should I say, an accomplice of homicide. So now we knew the situation are going to be created because we knew those circumstances where Sweden, Norway, should I say, Finland, Greenland, Ireland, and all of these European nations knew the circumstances that are coming. The EU knew the situations with the United Nations on the premise that was conducted by this um, faulty regulations, and obviously because they don't have the respect, they don't have my respect. We knew the implementations that were taken here in Mexico also complies with a lot of the nudity that was done by Claudia Sheinbaum. So we knew they were looking at Prince Philip, or King Philip, should I say. At the same time, we knew the situation that was conducted inside the premises that were done here in Mexico, and obviously because we knew situations that compromises relationships around the globe. Uh, and obviously this compromise also relates a lot of the issues that was done by non-strategic measure when we knew that we're compromising relationships with other nations. So now we knew the implementations that were created because we knew the circumstances that were done in relationship by default of assassinations. So Claudia Shitbum and assassination orders that were conducted by Mexico, and obviously this is going to be my last couple of months because the anti-Semitism that was conducted here in Mexico conducted a lot of the issues because they were conducting a lot of the faculties. And now that we knew that they conducted a lot of the faculties here in Mexico, also conducted a lot of the failure of the issues that they were constructed. So Claudia Shitbum and Andres Manuel López Obrador and everything that was done by Mexico also contradicts everything that's going to be taken around the world. So to say that I couldn't rent here, I couldn't live here, or I couldn't live here if I wanted to, or the situations that were conducted because the corruptive measure was done by Mexico. So Claudia Shitbum, Andres Manuel López Obrador, and Vicente Fox, we knew the implementation that Mexico has conducted and the way they conducted these issues and the way the structuralization was done because we knew the implementations that world leaders knew the circumstances that was done by Mexico and the United States. So now we knew the implementation that was conducted because now we knew the annihilation that was going to be done because we knew that EU and the entire nations knew the circumstances that were being attacked. So now we knew the situations that were done because everything was Switzerland, Ireland, Sweden, with our implementations that was implemented by these issues that like I said, there's still a lot to prove. There's still a lot of compliance, and there's still a lot of terroristic implementations that were taken here in Mexico. So yes, we are going to be seeing the implementation that they've taken, the directorship, and obviously the situations that were done. And because we knew the implementations that were taken directly with this terroristic hit. So yes, we are going to see the implementations, and we see how the circumstances were taken, and obviously the deliberations that were done by both nations. The premise with Mexico is because we knew the situation was conducted in such variables of terrorism where corruption, fraud, and I'm living proof of every single aspect of that because I am proof of the situations where terrorism, fraud, narco politics, and the situations that Mencho and Claudia Shitbum created a situation where nudity was permitted in such premise that were conducted by Claudia Shitbum. So now we knew the implementation was going to be conducted because as a world power, we knew the situation of failure when we knew the situation that were done by a premise of antitrust. So now we knew that those implementations are going to be taken around the world because guess what? I have a lot of evidence. And the evidentiary support shows a lot of the significance and the implementations with their narco policies that were conducted here in Mexico. And this is why the implementations that were attacked because we knew it was Claudia Shitbum, Andres Manuel López Obrador, and Vicente Fox's administrations, and also the conduct that came directly from this banana republic. And obviously because we knew situations are going to be conducted because we are going to see the implementations of assassinations by the Claudia Shitbums as they sucking their own dick. So yes, we are going to see a lot of the issues because we knew that thanks to Switzerland, Ireland, Greenland, Finland, Iceland, we're talking about the entire EU, and because we knew the implementations that are taken because we knew that the circumstances that were done by Claudia Shitbum and her administration, which they lost my respect.